The ultimate Wolverine is the ultimate Winter Soldier. Welcome to the Comicstorian Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read them dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. If you enjoy these stories, be sure to support the industry and go check them out at your local comic shop. Today we continue the ultimate Wolverine here on the channel, as the leaders of the Eurasian Republic question the efficacy and reliability of their new weapon. This is Ultimate Wolverine issue number 2 by Chris Condon. I hope you enjoy. 30 years in the past, Dr. Cornelius stares at the pictures of his test subjects on the wall. He is unhappy with the government's postponement of his project, though he is happy to note the discovery of their special subjects. Mutants, the so-called Homo Superior. We do not know their full potential, Cornelius notes into his tape recorder, but he is interrupted as a shadow falls over the doorway, and clapping drowns out his words. Very good, Professor, the Maker says with a smile as he walks into the room. Who's that? Cornelius asks as he turns sharply. The Maker walks by the professor's desk, absently pushing aside papers with no real interest. I am but a simple man, in search of a better world, the Maker explains with a shrug. Cornelius peers at the strange man. There's no such thing as a perfect world, the professor notes as he adjusts his glasses. The Maker nods and holds up a hand, his finger elongating into a blade that stabs through the mad scientist's brain, killing him. A better world, Professor. Better. And a better world is one you're not in, the Maker explains softly as he starts his work, setting a fire that burns the entire building, and all of Professor Cornelius's work along with it. Present day, the Eurasian taiga. Eurasian Republic soldiers move cautiously through the forest. Their breath is visible in the frigid air. Their weapons are up and ready as they scan the dense forest around them. The point man holds up a fist, bringing the column to a stop. He points down, indicating the freshly made footprints in the snow. One of the soldiers in the back of the column looks up, his eyes widened in fear at the sight of the shadowy figure in the trees above him. There! Up there! The soldier shouts as he raises his weapon, but it's too late. His adamantium claws extend, and the Winter Soldier leaps down on his prey. Earlier, the previous day, Dr. Alanya Prostovich is summoned before Colossus, Magic, and Omega Red, the leaders of the Eurasian Republic, who demand a report on their latest weapon. Make no mistake, he is ours, Dr. Prostovich says as she finishes her report. But Magic is not so sure. We are not the only ones with telepaths at our disposal. Perhaps your project should be terminated, Magic says over her brother's shoulder. Dr. Prostovich is in disbelief over the words. We've sent him on 4 successful missions. The opposition is reeling. He eliminated several top operatives in the last month on our western border alone, Dr. Prostovich notes, unsure why her leaders are even beginning to question the Winter Soldier's loyalty. But Magic is still glaring at her. He has no memories, you say? But how do you explain what happens when your little Winter Soldier sleeps? Magic asks. She opens a portal, and the 4 step through into Dr. Prostovich's lab. Before them sits the stasis chamber, where they can visibly see Logan twitching and growling in his sleep. Ah, perfect! Suffering a night terror as we speak, Magic points out. But Dr. Prostovich moves to the readings, pointing out that everything is running normal, and they can't stop the subject from dreaming. Would I prefer him to be inert? Of course, she says as she turns back to the leaders, reminding them that when he is awake, the Winter Soldier has shown nothing but loyalty. Colossus stares at the mutant for a moment. Remove the specimen. I want to inspect it myself, he rumbles softly. Dr. Prostovich hesitates for a moment, and Colossus reaches for her throat.
Do not underestimate how disposable you are, Doctor.
Colossus reminds her as he lifts her into the air. She gasps for air and nods, and the mighty mutant lowers her back to the floor. Yes, leader. Dr. Prostovich gasps as she rubs at her throat and moves to the instrument panel. The stasis pod is deactivated, and with a hiss of frigid air meeting the lab, Logan is released. The living weapon stands quietly as Colossus steps before him. Without warning, the leader reaches down and grabs Logan by the throat, lifting him into the air.
Creatures like this, they know violence. They respect it because they know there is no such thing as safety. The Winter Soldier's rightful place is under our heel.
Colossus growls before tossing Logan aside, throwing him into a nearby wall. Colossus stares at his weapon for a moment before turning back to the doctor.
I think we would like to see the Winter Soldier in action. No more reports. We want to see.
Colossus tells her, with his sister and Omega Red getting excited about the idea. Colossus ponders for a moment before nodding, suggesting that they send 10 soldiers into the forest to pursue the Winter Soldier.
A combat scenario, fully monitored. Only one shall emerge. It will not be a test for your subject, Doctor. But should he fail, we shall revise your relationship with Directorate X.
Colossus notes. Dr. Prostovich looks at him and nods. Yes, leader, she says softly. With a final nod, Colossus and the others walk out of the lab. Dr. Prostovich breathes a sigh of relief and quickly rushes to Logan's side, helping him to his feet, though he has made no indication that he has even noticed the events around him. Thank God they're gone. What a mess, Dr. Prostovich whispers. Come, Winter Soldier. You have a new mission ahead of you. Back in the present, the soldiers raise their weapons, firing wildly into the dense forest around them. Hold your fire! Their leader shouts, and the forest goes quiet. 2 of the soldiers have already fallen. Anyone get a good look at them? Someone shouts. Not them. Him. One man. Someone else answers as the soldier reloads. They keep moving, their weapons held at the ready, their nerves on high alert. It's no monster, or demon, or forest spirit. It's the Winter Soldier, one of them whispers. The soldiers begin to move more cautiously. They've all heard the stories of the Eurasian Republic's secret weapon. Why is he hunting us? One of them hisses. But their leader points to a camera in the trees. The only reason for us to be here is simple. We're practicing. So remember, it's us or him, the leader whispers. But the squad is unaware that Logan watches them from a nearby bush. They all turn sharply at the schnick of extending claws. Logan stands suddenly and rushes at them. The sound of gunfire echoes through the dense forest for a moment, before all goes silent again. Moments later, Logan stalks through the forest, the heads of the remaining soldiers held in his hands. He drops them before one of the cameras as proof, before leaning down and destroying the recording device. At the lab, Colossus nods in satisfaction at the Winter Soldier's victory, bringing a smile to Dr. Prostovich's face. Beautiful, she whispers. And that is where we leave Ultimate Wolverine today. Colossus has asserted dominance, and the Ultimate Winter Soldier has proven himself to the Eurasian Republic leaders. But how long will this loyalty last? If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like it and leave a comment down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.